So even though that story didn't explicitly involve a loved one passing away, I'm glad that our little ones seemed to pick up on the theme, seemed to get what I was going for there. They're clever, you know? So I want to start this sermon with a poem. This is an edited version of Tincture by the late poet Andrea Gibson, who passed away just this year. Imagine when a human dies, the soul misses the body, actually grieves the loss of its hands and all they could hold, misses the throat closing shy, reading out loud on the first day of school. Imagine the soul misses each falling eyelash waiting to be a wish. The soul misses the lisp, the stutter, the limp. When a human dies, the soul searches the universe for something blushing, something shaking in the cold, something that scars, sweeps the universe for patience worn thin, the last nerve fighting for its life, the voice box aching to be heard. Imagine the soul misses hunger, emptiness, rage. The soul misses the unforever of old age, the skin that no longer fits. The soul misses every single day the body was sick, the now it forced, the here it built from the fever. Fever is how the body prays, how it burns and begs for another average day. The soul misses what the body could not let go. What else could hold that tightly to everything? What else could hear the chain of a swing set and fall to its knees? What else could touch a screen door and taste lemonade? What else could come back from a war, but not come back, but still try to live, still try to lullaby? When a human dies, the soul moves through the universe, trying to describe how a body trembles when it's lost, softens when it's safe, how a wound would heal given nothing but time. Do you understand? Nothing in space can imagine it. No comet, no nebula, no ray of light can fathom the landscape of awe, the heat of shame, the fingertips pulling the first gray hair and throwing it away. I can't imagine it, the stars say. Tell us again about goosebumps. Tell us again about pain. Death is the most sacred part of spiritual work. Death is at the heart of the great mystery. It is the closing of one of the universe's many precious eyes. It is the stilling of what once was never still. It is the absence of what was once a humble, unfathomable, mysterious presence. We are afraid of death because it is hard to imagine never existing again as we are. Never perceiving, expressing, moving, loving, at least not as we are now. When I began divinity school, I had to submit a bio, an introduction. My classmates wrote things like, Jessica is a chaplain from Atlanta, or Jean Feng is a Buddhist nun studying gender in religion. I wrote, Laurie Stevens is a temporary amalgamation of particles, all of which are thrilled to be here. You know that art style pointillism? That's what I imagine us to be like, really, an amalgamation of little particles. Every moment of our lives, those particles are changing, molecules flowing in and out, hair being cut, tears being shed, hiking, breathing hard, the carbon dioxide of our breath getting absorbed into the trees around us. And when death arrives, then comes the great change, where all that we have borrowed gets returned. For those who are buried, we return to the earth. For those who are cremated, some of our energy is burst out as light into the stars to travel until it runs into something. And our ashes may be scattered somewhere as beautiful as the ocean, or, as in the movie Captain Fantastic, somewhere as humble and hilarious as a toilet. If you haven't seen this movie, Highly recommend. Human cultures handle death very differently from each other. Islam forbids cremation, or the burning of, which is the burning of the body, while it is traditional in Hindu cultures. Orthodox Judaism also mandates burial with no embalming. Christian cultures have a whole practice of reliquaries, or keeping dead body parts of honored saints that people then make pilgrimages to. Some Buddhist monks do what's called a sky burial, where they choose to pass away or have their body placed on a mountaintop so that the birds can disperse them. In some Native American cultures, family members take care of the loved one's body, washing it a final time and preparing it in their favorite clothes. There is a beautiful Japanese film called Departures, which won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film in 2008. It tells the story of a young man desperately looking for a job who becomes the apprentice of someone who ritually washes and prepares the bodies of the deceased. At first, the young man and everyone he knows are very creeped out and disgusted. But soon he learns that it is a precious and honorable profession which helps the living grieve as they watch the ceremony. It's probably not surprising to hear that I dislike the usual American way of handling death. We hire strangers to pump chemicals into the body with preservatives for the convenience of funeral scheduling. We encase them in coffins, and increasingly, we put the coffins inside of a stone vault in the ground. I'm not talking about mausoleums. When I was in Minneapolis, it was coffin, person in the coffin, coffin in the vault, and I was like, okay, y'all, this is getting out of hand. We remove the body from the life cycle for aeons. Even after death has come, we try to ward it off instead of embracing it. I believe that death is not something to be afraid of. We Unitarian Universalists believe different things about the afterlife. There's probably as many wonderings about the afterlife in this room as there are people. But one of the few beliefs we tend to agree on, not entirely, but mostly, from the Universalist side of our heritage is that we don't believe in hell. So whether you are looking forward to reuniting with loved ones after death, curious about what your soul may be reincarnated as, or simply comforted by the scientific knowledge that all the matter that you are made of will continue, as long as the universe continues. No matter what you believe or wonder about death and the afterlife, I affirm you in the refusal to believe that some eternal punishment is your destiny. That's just a scary story that people have used to frighten children and control adults. But this is not to say that death is something to seek out either. Some of us may have struggled with depression and suicidal thoughts. If you are currently struggling, please get in touch with me or another source of support like 988, the Suicide Lifeline. Because I truly believe that though death is inevitable, life is precious. Life, and the scientists aren't really sure exactly what the definitions of life are, but we're pretty sure that life is this special thing. It's this process that can seek out more energy and reproduce. Stars can't do that. They burn their energy and then they disperse. They're done. Crystals can grow, but they can't reproduce. Life can. Life seeks out energy and turns it into new matter. Life is the universe's way of defying entropy, of trying as hard as it can not to die. So don't let entropy win. Side with the spirit of life and love. And when that becomes difficult, as it can, ORUUC is here for you. And I, as your minister, am here for you, in life and in death. In case you're not aware, death can involve a surprising amount of logistics. Some of you may know that from family members who have passed away. So I have a few logistical favors to ask of you all as your minister. The first is that when you may enter a phase of dying, whether due to illness or old age, please tell me what you want and need, because I don't know. You can tell me if you want perhaps prayers at your hospital bedside, or to sit and listen as you tell the stories of your life. Or perhaps you'd like me to buzz off entirely. Perhaps you would like a clergy member from a different tradition, perhaps of your childhood, to perform rites that you remember and cherish. All of these are fine options, and it would help if you would tell me which ones you'd like. Because you're all different, and I want to make sure that this process, this phase, is fit for you. Your wish is my command. Second, one of the services that I, as your minister, provide to ORUC without charge to ORUC members is designing and officiating memorial services. But it really helps to talk it through with you while you're still with us, to write it down while you're still here so it can be what you want it to be. Unitarian Universalist services are very customizable, sometimes too customizable. Music, poetry, readings, pictures, prayers, no prayers, it's all fair game, and I want it to be what you want it to be. When I was training during my ministerial internship, my supervising minister gave me a lot of advice, but one of the things she said was, we do a lot of different things as ministers, so sometimes you have to just get it done even if it's not perfect, but never, never half-ass a memorial service. They're the most important thing we do. So third and finally, in the lobby today after worship, we will have two forms available for you. We have an advance directive plan, which is something that specifies under what circumstances you would or would not like extraordinary measures to be taken to maintain your life. And we have an emergency contact info form. So if something incapacitates you, we know who to get in touch with. Or one of your loved ones who may not know what you want will have some information. They can come ask us if you would like us to hold on to these forms for you. The emergency contact form includes information about who should make important decisions for you if you're incapacitated, and important medical information. Neither of these forms are legally binding, so I always recommend that you seek out, create a will. It's never too early, we never know what will happen. And if you'd like, you can send a copy of these forms back to us at the church so that we can assist your loved ones if they need this info later. I have a whole file cabinet full of these that my predecessor assembled, filled out by many of you, but it's always good to update them. So, logistical part over. Thank you. Death is both mysterious and mundane. The presence of dead trees maintains the health of a forest, providing nourishment and a safe place for small life to grow. Death is not necessarily an ending, but a turning of the page. Let us honor the spirits and memories of those who have gone before us. Let us plan, if we have the privilege to do so, the kind of death we would prefer. Let us work to prevent untimely deaths and continue the struggle for justice and against entropy. But always in the spirit of the autumn leaves, shining with a final beauty before nourishing the roots of their own tree, let us honor the interdependent web of which we are a part. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen.